All right, welcome to another episode of You're a Survivor, Now What? And George from Everything Natural 2. As promised, we're going to talk about healthy eating habits and how to eat right for your blood type. And I know we got a lot to cover today, so I'll let George get started.
All right, thanks, Matt. This is my favorite topics. Showing people how to eat well and putting good food into their body. I want people to understand that food is a fuel for their system, and we also want them to understand that everything you eat takes about 24 hours to travel through your body. So if you're going to have an immune reaction to something, it's going to happen generally within that 24-hour period. And if people are battling constant brain fogs or migraine headaches, cluster headaches, muscle and joint pains, gas, bloatiness, constipation, diarrhea, we want to just end all that right now by showing them how to eat correctly, getting their diet dialed in is the best thing they can do for their health and disease prevention. One of the most simplest ways we can show people how to accomplish this is to, first of all, one of my favorite things to showcase to people is find out what your blood type is. Let's start looking at what the best fruits, vegetables, meats, nuts, and seeds are on your blood type.
Right.
And let's just start eating what's on that highly beneficial list, that neutral list, and the best you can, keep those avoids out of the diet as best of your ability.
Right.
That's number one with us. I really like our customers to adapt a sense of eating clean. Eating clean to me is basically determined eating organic produce,
right.
Fruits and vegetables. As much as you can, support these organic farmers. Very, very important. And I want to keep when it comes to my clientele, I want to keep a large emphasis on eating raw. And raw eating is going to be eating more raw fruits, eating more raw vegetables,
right.
Eating raw almonds and walnuts, and the leafy greens. When you start getting 50% of your calories from raw food has enzymes. What do enzymes do? They act as a digesting agent.
Right.
They break their foods down. Enzymes turn protein into amino acids,
okay.
Carbohydrates into glucose, fats into triglycerides. That means we're not fermenting, folks. We're not going to have bloatiness. We're not going to have gas. We're not going to have a sluggish metabolism.
Right.
That creates a tired feeling in your body. So really want to get that raw emphasis established. Once we get people with that mindset, we're eating right for our blood type. Within that context, we're eating a raw foods diet.
Right.
And the next phase is proper food combining. Not enough people pay attention to the order in which they eat their food.
Right.
I'm going to give you a very easy way to learn how to combine your food.
Okay.
Okay. We look at fruits, for instance. Fruit is the only food that will digest in the small intestine, not the stomach.
Okay.
So if you eat your fruit like most people do for dessert, at the end of your hamburger and your sweet potato and your salad, the likelihood of that fruit fermenting in your stomach, causing heartburn and indigestion or GERD, is very likely.
Right.
Now the sugar from the fruit, which wants to absorb rapidly, is fermenting in the stomach.
Right.
And it's not able to get to the bloodstream and nourish your brain where it should have been eaten first in the meal sequence. So today's show, we're going to talk about food combining, and we're going to show you how easy it can be.
Okay.
Whenever you grab your fruit, grab it first. Have it in between your meals. You can have it 10 to 15 minutes before a meal, or you can have it 90 minutes following. That's considered an empty stomach. Very simple approach. I always try to get my customers to consume about 5, 6, or 7 raw pieces of fruit a day, which might sound like a lot, but when you start getting in the habit of doing this, you realize how easy your bowel movements are. Fruit will always hydrate the colon. It provides important fibers that, when eaten first in the meal sequence, is a very good cleanser for our body. And it supplies potassium. So potassium is going to regulate the pH, again, in our cells. So when we keep our body alkaline, we're going to see big, big progress. So fruit first, meats and vegetables together, starches last. For our vegetarians out there, they can have their beans and rice together with their leafy greens. For my meat eaters, whenever you have a piece of steak or beef or chicken or fish, We always want to have leafy greens with it. Spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard. I don't care what it is. That's all raw. Enzymes are in there. The protein in the meat's a dead food. You got the enzymes to digest that protein now into amino acids. Right. You just took all the weight off your gut. That's the whole idea of this.
Right.
We want to take the weight off our digestive system and allow us to flow through the day, again, with minimal recovery from our food.
Sure.
So it's a great approach. Fruits first, meats and vegetables together, starches are last. Eat right for your blood type.
Right.
Employ these principles. Keep the diet as organic as possible. Watch out for genetically modified organisms. We want to keep GMOs out. And one good way to do that, very simple. If you're buying certified organic, you're buying GMO free. Very easy to work with.
Sure. Sounds like great advice. Yeah.
And you're gonna feel, and people, when they try this, they'll feel the difference. And it's something that we want our customers to employ, because whenever we develop a supplement portfolio, when there's eating habits in place already that are allowing our client to get properly nourished without immune reactions, now our supplement protocols have a much cleaner environment with less inflammation to work around to do a great job to elevate their health. And that's what it's all about.
Very good. Very good stuff. Very good information. And I know we're going to have to get people to call you and get in touch with you so that you can give them a consultation, so that you can actually adjust the program more specifically for them. And if they know their blood type, they can call you, can actually help them along with that. And I know there is also a way for them to send away to get their blood type tested, so that this way when they do call up, they know whether they're an A, B, B positive, whatever the case might be, and that'll help you tell them exactly what supplements they need and what foods work best with them.
Oh, absolutely, Matt. Yep. They can send away for their blood type kits. I believe there's websites they can go to.
Sure.
Also, they can donate blood to the first aid and get their card in the mail, too.
Right.
Another way to find out if they don't already know.
Yep. That's the free way of doing it.
Yep.
Great. All right. So now that we have we're eating right, we're eating healthy. What do we have next time on the show, George?
Next podcast, we're going to do seasonal allergies. We're going to talk a little bit about spring allergies and how to get rid of that pesky post-nasal drip and watery eyes and scratchy throat that so many people contend with this time of year.
Sure. You know what? Since I've been following the protocol, every winter I used to always get, a cough or a cold, a chest cold. But once you start eating right and taking the supplements and your immune system is healthy, you find yourself not getting sick as often. And you're not getting those allergies or those, like you just said, post-nasal drip and so forth.
No question, Maddie. We have natural ways to help reduce those histamines and to regulate and balance our immune system. And we're going to tackle that on our next podcast.
That sounds great. Now, how can we get in touch with you if we want to ask you a question or we want to get some supplements?
Okay, everybody out there can always email me at george@everythingnatural2.com. Send their questions through email. Always get back to them, generally within 24 hours. And they can also call me at the shop at 609-655-1666. Monday through Friday between 9:30 and 6:30 is our shop's hours, and 10 to 4 on Saturday.
Sounds good. Thanks, George, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, Matt.
That brings us to the end of another episode of You're a Survivor, Now What? If you enjoyed today's show about healthy eating, there's a book out by Dr. Michael A. Smith, and it's called The Supplement Pyramid. And with that book, it teaches you how to build your own personalized nutritional regimen based on a pyramid, building up a pyramid. There's 16 free health quizzes in the book, and what you do is you find the one that pertains to you, whether you have cancer, diabetes, heart condition, whatever it might be. But you take a look and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do to fight your particular illness. And if you go to cancerpatientgiftstore.com, follow the link to the store, you can get a copy of this book. And if you put in coupon code NOWWHAT at checkout, you'll get 10% off. So I hope you do and take a look at that book, because it'll definitely help you. It goes hand in hand with eating right for your blood type. and also eating healthy, eating the proper raw fruits and vegetables, as George spoke about during today's show. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next week.